Next one, this one, I reckon is going to turn a few heads. Tigers, Cowboys. We both reluctantly went Tigers because I think this one's the toughest one to call this week.
I said it. Sorry, I said it when I messaged you the picks. Last night for me, I was like toughest next to the Tigers. Yeah. This really, really could go either way. The Tigers have not looked good the last couple of weeks. I remain on my stance that Benji Marshall should not have been dropped, but I'm beating a horse with a hammer on that one. The Cowboys have not looked great. They have sparks of brilliance. We saw that last week against the Warriors. Tabuai-Fidow back in the fullback role where he's played a lot of his football. They bring on Connolly Lemuelu.
I think so.
As a debutant winger, second one in a row. So congrats to him. Hopefully he does have a good game. For me, much like the Dragons and the Titans, as you said, Matty, this one's going to be won and lost in the halves. I think the Cowboys have a better forward pack. You have Josh Maguire at prop, and I mean, nothing needs to be said about Jason Taumalolo. If he's 100%, he's 30 tackles, 300 meters. It's just another game for him. The interesting thing for me is that the Cowboys have Ben Hampton on the bench.
Exactly.
Now, Hampton for the first 4 games played on the wing. Previously, he has played centre. He has played in the 6 and the 7, as well as the 9, and at fullback. Has come on as a roving forward. Like he's the Cowboys' Swiss Army knife. For those who watch the NFL, Taysom Hill, he's the equivalent. I just don't know where he's going to fit in. If Masters has another shocking game, does Paul Green drag Masters? Is he there to give Reece Robson a break? Reuben Cotter's now out of the 20, out of the 17. Are they going to switch it up? Put Hampton at fullback, Tabuai-Fidow on the wing? There's a couple of possibilities there, but I think the halves play for the Cowboys has not been good the last couple of weeks. Clifford, I think, is starting to take on more of a role. Drinkwater's starting to drop down a little bit. Look, honestly, I could have played any, meeny, miny, mo. You can make points for and against both sides. I went the Tigers just because I think they've looked a little more consistent over the last couple of weeks. Defensively, they've been better. The defense has been much better. Alex Twal has been a surefire stop. Well, a surefire, a stop, essentially. I've forgotten the word. I still haven't woken up yet. A brick wall. We'll call him a brick wall in the middle. No one's been able to get around him. Luciano Leilua named to play, but if he doesn't, Michael Cheekham is more than able to replace him there on that edge. You'll probably see Chris Lawrence come into the 17 then. Look, I'm going the Tigers, but I say that with no confidence whatsoever.
Yeah, so the things that swayed me as well is you've got Tabuai-Fidow playing fullback. He's only got 60 minutes of NRL experience at fullback. Whole different game than playing at juniors level. You got the young gun on debut, Lemuelu, I think his name is. I'm not sure. Apologies, I've probably just completely butchered his name. But putting Hampton on your bench is a vote in no confidence for me in either one of those two. For me, if you're going to put Hampton on your bench, you might as well have just played Hampton on the wing. Because if you're going to have him there, I get that you need the depth and cover now, especially with Green's going to be a little bit shaky on things because he lost Val Holmes so early last week, and he saw what it did to his team, losing somebody that can control the game the way that Val Holmes can. So I think there's an element of that as well. But you might as well have just started Drinkwater then. And then, like last week, move O'Neill onto the wing and pull one of your centres. Mitch Dunn played out in the centre for a little while. Just pull him into the centre there instead and just load your bench with another forward. If you look at the Tigers, they've no utility this week. They're going to come with a game plan, and it's going to be go down the middle. They'll have studied what the Warriors did last week, and Tamalolo is going to have a huge target on his head this week. He'll be annoyed with how he performed last week, but the Tigers are not going to make it an easy win back for him.
Joey Leilua and David Naifaluma are going to have a field day against Masters. That's where the Tigers, I think, will win it. They'll target Masters. They saw how poorly he defended last week. They'll target him. Last thing I want to point out before we move on to the game of the round, Hampton's scored 4 tries in 3 games.
Yep. He's
currently in the top 5 in the league for tries. For someone who doesn't really play wing prior to this season, that's not a bad strike rate. So, maybe we see him back on the wing when Michael Walken gets back in 7-8 weeks' time. But yeah, I agree with you. Having Hampton on the bench poses more questions than it does answers anything.